Hello ghosts and ghouls, and welcome to another episode of Danica Raven's BiteSize Horror. This week we have another story from local author Dale Alexander Denton. This week's story is about when a safe space becomes a nightmare. Daddy issues. If you're sitting comfortably, we shall begin. Once upon a time, there was a young girl called Daisy, who lived in a big house upon a high hill, surrounded by sky and mountains. There she lived with her mother and father, or as the others called them, Lisa and Simon. Every day, friends would join them for garden parties, sing-alongs and good food. It was a rare day when the house on the hill was quiet. Her mother loved her garden. 'Twas her pride and joy, while her father fancied himself a bit of a chef. All was well, until it wasn't. First, it was when Simon found Lisa in the bathroom with one of the friends. Her father attacked the man, dragged him and threw him out. And then there was shouting between Lisa and Simon, only for them to stop and smile when they saw Daisy watching. After that, no more friends were allowed in the house on the hill, and gradually more changes happened too. Where once there'd been sing-along nights, now there was silence and cold glances. Where there'd been delicious dinners, now there was sitting in separate rooms, Lisa with her bottles of wine and Simon with his crates of beer and cigarettes, while little Daisy sat alone with cold takeaway food. Where she used to go to bed with a soft and happy bedtime story, now she pretended to sleep while she heard the yelling from the other room. As all of this dragged on, they didn't bother to smile in front of her anymore. It lasted until the day when the plates smashed and poor Lisa's face was covered in blood and in tears. After that, her mother no longer lived in the house on the hill. No more parties, no more songs, and the garden soon turned to ruin. It was just the constant quiet between herself and her father, who spent most of his days in the study with his increasing number of crates. This went on for so long that it became a haze, clouding her memory, that she could scarcely remember a different time. Lonely little Daisy had no idea what to do, until she saw him. On what seemed like just another random day, she looked at herself in the mirror, yet saw something else standing behind her, far taller than her and cloaked in blackness, with a white mask that was both crying and smiling. He was frightening to behold. She was about to scream until she heard his voice. Soft-spoken and warm, he said hello and told her that his name was Bo. Looking behind her, she saw nothing there, but when she turned once more to the mirror, there he was. Despite his frightening, phantomly visage, his aura was comforting, and she could not resist smiling and speaking to him. It had been so long since she had talked to someone. He was pleasant, funny and kind. When she asked if they could be friends, she couldn't refuse. Henceforth, every day, he would appear beside her and entertain her. It was the happiest little Daisy had been in such a long time. He told her that he'd come from far away and long ago, and that he only appeared to the most special of people, but most are always just afraid of him. But not Daisy, she thought proudly. She couldn't stop smiling, thinking of every meeting with him. But Simon eventually noticed her joy, and he did not like it. And so, after his usual dose of beer that he could never handle, her father entered Daisy's bedroom for the first time in what felt like an age. Sadly though, he was not there to read her a bedtime story. In the dark of night, he slipped in beside her, and though scared, little Daisy did not fully understand what was happening. She knew that it was wrong. The next day, Simon went about his regular, sloth-like revelries, as if nothing had happened whatsoever. Yet for Daisy, all she saw were shadows and rain, her body trembling no matter what she did to stop it, her eyes empty and sleepless. When Beau came to her, instead of his lively little friend, he saw a hollow shell in the shape of a girl. Though she never spoke of what occurred, Beau knew. His cloak of darkness embraced her in a gentle and warm hug that stopped the trembling and made the young girl feel like the world hadn't ended. And as he did so, he whispered a proposition into her ear. And slowly, his shadow grew and consumed the bedroom. That night, the lights were out and the house was cold, as Simon staggered through looking for Daisy. His curiosity turned to frustration, and so he began to roar out for her, demanding her presence. Instead, he received a smack to the head as a lamp flew across the living room and crashed down on him. Cursing, he looked all around, and suddenly more and more items began to float and fly towards the man. Trying to dodge and block, his body began to become a mass of cuts and scratches as he continued to scream out for Daisy. However, all of a sudden, he felt something stir and wrap itself around his legs, yanking him to the ground before he could flinch. Looking, he saw, to his shock and bewilderment, what appeared to be slithering tentacles of pure shadow oozing and clinging to his lower half. Whimpering in fear, he finally saw his little Daisy standing before him. He called out to her for help, bleating like a dying sheep. She merely looked at him, coldly, the same way Lisa did long ago. As he reached out an arm to her, she finally spoke. "I've found a new daddy now. You are no longer needed." Without pause, Beau appeared behind her, hands clasping her shoulders with pride, his mask still that blanket of tears and smiles. "Goodbye, Simon," she said, without a trace of love or empathy. The man's face widened in pure terror, just as the tentacles of shade then dragged him away with one final barrage of screams. After, everything changed at once. Daddy Beau brought his strange dark friends to live in the house with them. Once more, they had songs and laughter, parties and fun, and Daisy finally found herself happy with her newfound family. And if anyone ever came to ruin their happiness, they would deal with them. And so they lived, for what seemed like forever and ever, in the shadowy house on the hill. If you enjoyed that story, why not check out more of our videos with Dale Alexander Denton, like RPG or The Enemy of Time. We also have an interview with the author.